Indeed. I'm just gonna go ahead and save. Wait. Come back. That guy was not there before. This guy was not here.
Best avoid that one. He looks like he might tip over at any moment. Reminds me of when I was alive. Ah, good times.
Good times. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we have the Dupree Manor, we have the Bow Street Jail, and we got 451 Compton Street. Let's go to the jail first.
Fordham? Is that you? You look like something a cat spat up.
Shut up.
Hello, Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
What brings you round the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Such a charming fellow, isn't he?
Yes. What do we have here? Horn.
I bet that's a direct line to the police department. You should make a rude noise into it when Giles isn't paying attention.
Yeah.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
Yes.
Either crime is low, or the police aren't doing their jobs very well.
What is this? A whip? Albert Martin.
Mr. Martin?
Who are you? My lawyer?
No, I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
I'm
I'm looking
investigating.
into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Yes.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Madame Dupree.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Dupree.
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to her. Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
Wow.
So it wasn't you then?
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin.
Dupree's death.
Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
An ignorant
What I
jackass.
meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Yes,
Oh.
you could say
Oh,
that.
Look.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
Yeah.
You see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter, Juliette Montgomery.
Oh.
And Dupre doesn't like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and, loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
No, not really. But I understand now where this is going. Okay, so this guy was having a little bit of the hokey pokey with the Juliet.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful, kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet wouldn't believe for a second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art. Didn't just treat me like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
Okay, we got some clues here. We can check that.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
Who's your mother?
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
What?
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... How can I explain it?
A witch!
You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
A witch!
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
Voodoo. Okay.
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
That's all for now.
Wait, before you go,
What?
would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
You're at 451 Compton Street, right?
Yes, that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
What does
I
that mean?
suppose I could do that, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
We now have like a code there. A big case has come in. No, this is not. Clues. No. Question residents of Dupree Manor. Speak to Juliet Montgomery at the university. Deliver a message to Albert Martin's mother. So what's with
Nothing else to ask him right now. He hasn't got much time left. Best not to waste it.
I wonder what that message means. There's the university. Let's go over here. Let's go talk to...
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate, anyway?
I don't
Please, let's
remember.
not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
Let's go talk to the mother. Cab.
One of Atwood's
Poster.
re-election posters, sorely lacking a mustache. Go on, Miles. Fix this grievous injustice.
Not now, Bill. There are more important things to worry about.
Spoil sport.
Yeah, also adding the mustaches should be a top priority.
I'm glad that Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Self-driving cats. There's a graffiti over there.
Considering how many eating establishments are in this neighborhood, the butcher picked a fantastic spot to set up shop. I do notice a distinct lack of stray cats in this neighborhood, though.
Catwood.
Bonbon's Restaurant. I never got a chance to go there, but I hear their deviled eggs are simply to die for.
Well, you're already dead, Bill, so... Hello?
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
Albert gave me a message for you.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Roch's dog is barking.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
Thank you. She's a witch!
Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
She's like a voodoo lady. Painting.
The Virgin Mary? I must admit she was the last person I was expecting to see in here. It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
The crossroads is usually where you summon the devil.
That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily.
We open this?
I'm afraid that room is private, Mr. Fordham. I must respectfully ask you to not go in there.
Sorry.
Of course. My apologies.
I apologize. There's a thing, a breach here, there.
A
Bookshelf.
rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies.
This thing?
For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
That's always important.
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Keeping potions. What is this thing? Like something inside of a bottle? Okay, let's talk to the lady.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
What's under that curtain over there?
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know.
Yeah.
The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
Shut
He's
up, Bill.
all the family I have, Mr. Fordham.
Okay. What about Madame Dupré?
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupré?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for a polite conversation, Mr. Fordham. But I can tell you this. Laura Dupré has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
Okay. What about Juliette? Do you know her?
What do you know about Juliette, Madame Dupré's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
Okay, what about the message?
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Roch is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Perhaps
nice.
you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
Yes.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
She's a witch!
I'm a mambo asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Okay. What about voodoo? You got zombies in there, or just... Sorry.
Can you tell me a bit more about your religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason.
So no
Voodoo
zombies.
is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes.
Like zombies.
But I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
So there could be zombies. Okay, ask for tea.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
Okay. We're gonna check over here.
Amazing. Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
Good question.
They obviously have some importance to her. I'd suggest asking, but I don't know if that's the best idea given how sensitive she seems to be about the subject.
The tea should be ready in a few minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
Thank
You're very
you.
kind, Mrs. Martin.
I'm going to ask you.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
What's in the back room?
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Yes. Press her further.
I had a look behind your curtain. Care to explain what all those things in that back room are?
Mr. Fordham, I was under the impression you could be trusted.
Oh, crap.
Clearly, Albert was wrong about you.
Crap.
Why are you keeping them out of view? What's their significance?
I don't like people invading my privacy, Mr. Fordham. You're no longer welcome in my home. Please leave.
But without me, your son won't get out of jail. Nobody else thinks he's innocent. Are you really going to put your pride over your son's life?
And now you insult me?
What?
You're really something special. I won't say it again. Get out!
Okay, sorry.
You clearly hit a nerve there, Fordham.
Yeah.
Rather suspicious, if you ask me. Perhaps her and Mr. Martin's religious practices aren't as innocent as they claim to be.
An interesting notion.
We got an achievement. What can you tell me about voodoo? Got kicked out of Sabine's apartment. Okay. Yeah, something weird happened there. But you know, you get a detective. You gotta press the things. You gotta get the information. You can no longer go to the. Let's go to talk to Juliet.
Oh, it's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here.
I'm cosplaying Gabriel Knight.
Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though. Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty.
If it wasn't the mother, maybe it was Juliet?
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty. Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated, but it looks like a giant earwax remover to me.
Huh. Got a bonsai tree over
One of
here.
those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days.
Yes.
Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing.
I don't know.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature internment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was.
Look at
What
that.
sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre,
Yeah.
though. That much is obvious.
Yeah.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
Look at the
I felt
eyes.
terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead.
She did it.
I just felt a sense of
No?
relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
Okay, so she didn't do it. Okay, she might have not done it, but she was angry. You know, you could tell because of the eyes were looking in this direction.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
Because
We've
of
never
the
completely seen eye to eye on anything.
Yeah.
She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, She really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Science!
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
Yes.
I assume your mother didn't approve of
Science,
your involvement
you know?
with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption.
With a conniption.
As I'm sure you can
Okay.
understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
We're gonna dwell on that one. Also, I'm going to have a conniption if you don't dwell on that one.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy about that. Amelie's been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
Emily. Okay. What about Albert? And don't lie to me. I'm gonna have the conniption.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
Did you
We
smooch
met
him?
here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students.
So, yeah,
My
okay.
focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates. But with Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
Huh.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found
The
out.
smooches.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
What about you?
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things, just like people in many ways.
Maybe.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant
Fertilizer.
and it will wither. Give it too much attention and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
What about the greenhouse plants here? Anything that could be used to make like a poison thing?
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
Extra healthy
They're
and
larger
strong.
than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
But I can't reveal my secrets, Mr. Fordham.
It's manure.
The world will hear about my discoveries soon enough.
Yeah, it's manure.
Incidentally, do you know anything about Easter lilies?
No, I don't keep or grow those here.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Where did we get the Easter lilies thing? Did I miss that? Contraption, large flowers.
I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Manure.
She's busy. Best not to bother her until we have something to ask her.
Okay, let's go.
You are aware this is private property, sir?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupre. I assume this is she?
This
You
one.
assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupre's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Dr.
Are any of the
Fellows.
members of the family home?
Her son, Mr. Montgomery, is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
Fountain.
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working. But right now, it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Damn mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed.
Very nice hedges, though.
With her vast sums of wealth, instead...
Windows.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
I have some questions for you, Doc. What about the madame over here?
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community. I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
You think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Yeah, shh, Bill. Not too loud.
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupre had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupre wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
Okay, we got another thing there. What about you?
How long have you been Madame Dupre's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30. I still spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
Shut up,
30
Bill.
years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity.
Yeah.
There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things. If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
Bloodletting, yeah. And just leeches, you stick them with the leeches and the bloodletting, it's all good.
Did you examine Madame Dupre after she reanimated?
Is she a zombie?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupre to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
So no black magic. Poison.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupre was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Zombies!
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
Okay, we got another clue.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Yes. Okay, let me check the case book. Question residents investigated Chesterton tomb. Okay. Poison. Okay.
Her eyes are glazed over and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person.
Hashtag pun. Okay, let's go over here.
On the dark roads of Montana, there's a shadow in the dirt. The whisper of a mountaineer in a ragged flannel shirt. He walks the stony hillsides with his mandolin in hand. but you'll never see his face around this long forgotten land.